What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Northeast Florida surf fishing forecast for the next few days. If you live in Northeast Florida, then you know over the weekend it was windy, to say the least. We had northeast winds up to 40 miles an hour with higher gusts along our beach, and I checked out Jack's Beach and Ponte Vedra today, and let me tell you something. There is some sand. The sand has been moved. Ponte Vedra in front of my customer's house, where the sand dunes once were, it's about a 4-foot drop, and most of the sand dunes are gone. Jack's Beach, I actually checked out the pier. For anyone who doesn't know, they got a chain link fence that runs up and down underneath the pier to keep people from underneath the pier while they're working. Well, up in shallow, where the bottom of the chain link fence used to be, there's about a 3 to 4 foot gap now where all that sand is gone. And we should have some new cuts all over Northeast Florida. In fact, the water temperatures with that, they have dropped. Last week we were looking at 75 to 76, now down to 71 in Jack's Beach, 69 in Fernandina, 75 in Flagler. So the fishing should be good. The only problem is the seas are still cranking, guys. Tuesday and Wednesday, they're still calling for northeast winds between 10 and 20, and then on Thursday, switching over to the southeast 10 to 20, and then we just don't have a break. So it's going to be seas 2 to 5 foot the next 2 to 3 days. So you better have your Sputniks. You're going to have to fish on the low tide. On the high tide, the water is coming so far up now, you'd literally be just fishing in whitewash. Did not see any mullet, did not see any sand fleas Monday afternoon when I checked. But I'm hoping to get down there Tuesday afternoon to check the beach out and see if we can find some sand fleas on that low tide. Hopefully they didn't all get washed all the way south. What we also have to hope as well is that the pompano didn't pass us by, guys. I've seen it before in the fall. We get a northeaster and it lasts 3 or 4 days. And the pompano are just starting to show up, and next thing you know, you hear they're down in Daytona or further south. So let's not hope that's not the case. The water temperatures in the Carolinas are much colder now too, so all of those fish should be headed this way. So clams, crab knuckles, fresh shrimp, sand fleas if you can find them, and with the fish bites, the pompano should be eating them. If the water cleans up, because let me tell you, it was very dirty Monday afternoon. It had a grayish color to it, at least in Jack's Beach. So maybe avoid that area and head north, say like Huguenot, maybe Little Talbot. And those areas, check those areas out, because a lot of times that water will be cleaner there versus everywhere else, north side of the inlets. If not, hopefully the northeast winds the next 2 days, they're not as strong as they're calling for. Maybe they'll blow about 10 miles an hour. That would clean up the water, I would think, fairly fast. But the fish should be there, bluefish, redfish, black drum. Hopefully the mullet are still running. If they are, we'll have speckled trout as well. And whiting time. With that water dropping like that, we should have some monster whiting showing up. Man, it looks bad. If my eyes are red, guys, they are. It's been a rough Monday. We had to put our dog down of 12 years, and it's been an emotional day. He was a part of our family. He was our first baby. You know, we got a 12 or a 9 and a 7-year-old, so they've got to grow up their whole lives with him, and it's tough on them, tough on us. Like I told a friend, when we come home, he's always there to greet us, and man, the silence is deafening. He's been on a few of the videos here, tiptoeing in the background. He knows when I'm talking on the camera. He knows when to make an entrance, walking real slow on the wood floors, and it tap, tap, tap. But that's why my face is red. I'm not tired. It's just been a rough day. But hopefully the next few days, fishing will pick up. See, we got another cold front coming through towards the weekend. It's going to cool off with some west winds, so we may be looking at a early winter. Last year at this time, the water temperatures were still around 77. I mean, we're looking at 71 now. If we keep getting cold fronts, it's just going to continue to drop. It wasn't until about mid-December of last year that it really got quite cold, and then all we were catching was whiting. All the way up until like the second week of December, we were catching trout, flounder, redfish, all of that right here in the surf in Northeast Florida. So that may come to an end quicker this year. River-wise, if you remember, we've had the king tides the last few days, so it's been extremely high. And then you add on all the northeast winds, even higher. There's a lot of flooding in St. Augustine and up in off of Heckscher around Browns Creek Fish Camp. If you know where that is, they had to shut down actually for a couple of days because the water was coming into their shop. But if you can get out in the river, now that the winds are going to back off, the sheephead should be biting very good. Redfish, speckled trout. Sure, the flounder will bite, but remember, you got to throw them back. Black drum. Just look for any type of structure with a lot of barnacles and oysters, and you'll probably find the sheephead guys. But a little bit of a shorter report tonight. There's really not a lot to report on. Like I said, it was a nasty weekend, rainy, windy. A lot of people stayed in. Saw a few videos down in St. Augustine, several sailboats broke loose, and I think they got crashed into the bridge or got pushed up against the bridge. So those winds wreaked havoc. But the next few days, although it'll be somewhat windy, nothing like we just had. So the surf should gradually come down. Just bring your Sputniks in case. And plus, there was a lot of trash in the water too. I noticed a lot of the reeds and stuff that probably came out of the marsh with these tides that just get sucked out the river and onto the beach. Found some pieces of concrete in Ponte Vedra too. No clue where they, didn't even think concrete could be washed like that in the current, but obviously I'm wrong. Big chunks of it. But if you got any questions or comments, leave them. We'll get back to you. And hope everyone has a great few days, and we'll be back on Thursday with the weekend forecast. But I should be able to get a report tomorrow afternoon from the beach to let you know how the water's cleaning up for Tuesday. Get out there and fish, guys. Tight lines.